A woman that possesses value is said to be a wife. A man that possesses value is said to be a husband. Hence, we can boldly say wives are not born, they are trained. And husbands are not born, they are trained. Now, all wives are women, but not all women are wives. This is a strong statement, right? Same also goes for husbands. All husbands are men, but not all men are husbands. Now, before you start throwing the sink, please listen to the analogy of what I just said, and then you would understand. Because when you dig deep into this, you would realize that being a wife is a role, and being a husband is also a role that you play as a spouse in somebody's life. There's a difference between being just a woman and being a wife. The Bible actually made this very clear by saying, "He that findeth a wife," it is very hard to find a wife among women. You have to search. You have to search because there are women everywhere. But the thing is, when it comes to finding a wife, it becomes another thing entirely. Wives are scarce while women are abundant. Husbands are scarce while men are abundant. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. You would have to search for a wife to find one. Because for somebody to say he that findeth, that means it is hard to find one. Women are abundant, but wives are scarce. Men are abundant, but husbands are scarce. It is up to you to search. Wives are not easy. Why? Because it is hard to find those women that can actually fit in and play the role of a wife. It is hard to find those men that can actually fit in and play the role of a husband. People think that whenever you say "I do" to becomes a wife. Listen. Taking the commitment or making a commitment before the altar, before any authority that you respect, doesn't automatically make you a wife. It doesn't. And taking the commitment before anybody you respect, the authority you respect or whatsoever, does not automatically make you a husband. It is the role you play afterwards that shows that he is your husband, that shows that she is your wife. People think that when you get married, you've automatically obtained favor. No. He that findeth a wife, that is the key for the favor that you have found. He that foundeth a wife, because a wife is a favor. Not all women are favor. They'll tell you statements like, just get married, don't worry about anything, everything will just fall in place. They believe that there is a financial favor, an all-round favor attached to getting married to somebody. I beg to differ. Why? Because getting married to anybody does not confer favor. It is getting married to wives that confers favor. It is getting married to husbands that confers favor. Now you must realize that a wife is not just a woman. A wife is that woman that has done the needful to upgrade herself from just being a woman into becoming a value. A woman that possesses value is said to be a wife. A man that possesses value is said to be a husband. Hence, we can boldly say wives are not born, they are trained. And husbands are not born, they are trained. Parents are the first and the primary tutors that children get to lecture them into becoming a value. The value that you possess or the value that you imbibe, the personal development and growth that you've been able to swallow through your growth stages up to your single stage, down to when you meet that man, is what will present you and make you a wife in his life. Same also goes for him. The change and the development that he has given himself to through the process of his life also makes him and presents him a husband to his wife. A husband is one that can protect, provide, and lead his family. These three core criteria is not something you are born with, it's something you are trained to become. So knowing this, it becomes a responsibility, a personal responsibility to embrace growth. Understanding that the progress in marriage or the growth in marriage is a function of whether you are a wife or a husband. And the outcome or what your children turn out to be is also well tied to this very fact as well. And I am fed up of that statement that says, come on, don't worry, two heads are better than one. Two heads are better than one because they have good rewards for their labor. Just get married. Point of correction, newsflash, not all two heads are better than one. Definitely not. That was why the scripture said, he that is joined to a harlot is one with that harlot, which means the person you marry has a high influence on you as a person. That means a good man can marry a bad woman and then have a messed up marriage and a messed up life. Why? Because it takes two to tango. We must understand this. A good head, getting married to a good head, is what God was speaking about, which is a favor and a blessing. He that findeth a wife, that woman that has swallowed virtue, how to support and how to help a man multiply what he brings. That woman that understands how to raise children into kings and queens. That woman that understands that she is a spiritual pillar that God has placed in that home. Take a look at Abraham's servant when he was sent to get a wife for Abraham's son Isaac. He also realized that there's a difference between getting a woman to marry Isaac and getting a wife for Isaac. What did he do? Understanding that this is a role that he's trying to fill, he had to set up some criteria that the lady must do in order for him to know that this is a wife. He said she has to be somebody that is sympathetic, somebody that is empathetic, and somebody that has a human feeling, somebody that can give, and somebody that is homey and entertaining and welcoming. The servants had to sieve the women from the wives. Whoever can consider the journey I have taken, because with wives, they care. They give him listening ears and understand and put themselves in his shoes. Abraham's servant said, whoever can consider where I'm coming from, the journey, the distance of the journey, and also be caring enough to extend a hand of fellowship to me, not just to me, but to my companion. Do you see it? He said, whoever will give me water to drink and also give to the camel that brought me to this point that I am. And Abraham's servant said, that is a wife. God has done his part by making you a being with the potentiality for growth, but with the potentiality to become a helper or a virtue in somebody's life, with the potentiality of becoming a value in somebody's life. You have the potentiality. It is now up to you to commit to the journey of becoming a wife or a husband. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Also he that findeth a husband findeth a good thing. Because it is a husband that recognizes the wife and comes for the wife. And it is the wife that recognizes the husband and comes for the husband. You must realize this and understand it. And some of you might say, there are women who have this quality, who are wife specified, but they are falling into the hands of wrong men, of people who are just men but not husbands. If you are of that mindset, there's a video up here which I did on why good women get married or fall into the hands of bad men. Go and watch that video, because there's a difference between being a good woman and making good decisions. Check that video out and you will understand that. But notwithstanding, please know this, it is up to you to become a wife, and it's up to you to become a husband. Because a wife who can find, a good husband who can find, it takes rigorous searching to find them out of the bunch. God bless you.